Ever feel like your to-do list is running your life instead of you running it? Emails piling up, deadlines sneaking up on you, and no time for creative thinking. What if I told you there's an AI tool that can be your personal assistant, project manager, and productivity powerhouse all in one? Today I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT, not just for answering random questions, we have Google for that, but for organizing projects, managing tasks, and boosting productivity in a way that makes life easier. ChatGPT is my thought partner. She gives me, yes, she, in my world, she's a she gives me a dopamine hit every day. All right, so let's get started with ChatGPT. Again, I assume many of you may be familiar with ChatGPT at this point. That's great. Hopefully what I show you today will really turn it on in a way that you haven't been using it. For those of you starting brand new, there is a free version, so be sure to download that. So let's get started. So the ChatGPT sidebar that you're seeing here on my left is where you organize all of your projects and ongoing conversations. Think of this as your AI command center, if you will. And what you'll want to do, just like Google, you're going to see this search engine bar right here in the middle. And to go to a new chat, you will click the pencil icon at the top left, and that will get you started on a new chat. What's nice to see is that you've got past conversations that are logged here on the sidebar. You can organize them by projects. And you'll notice when you're in projects, the thread is in chronological order. And essentially, the nice thing about ChatGPT is each conversation you have will build off of another. So you don't necessarily need to start from scratch to kind of go back and prompt ChatGPT in a way to bring them onto the same page. You can continue conversations, particularly if you're staying in the same thread as I am here. You can see with the AI Cheerleader, there is a lot of conversations, a lot of prompts that we've done, and the answers, responses that ChatGPT provides me just builds off of one another. So let's go back and start with a new chat, shall we? So let's talk about how to use this for project management, and we'll build upon this particular prompt. And again, if we're going to use correct ChatGPT vernacular, what we are doing here is prompting ChatGPT for actions. So I just typed in the search engine, ChatGPT. I am launching a content marketing campaign for my brand. I need a structured project plan that includes content calendar suggestions, task lists, and automation ideas. Organize this into a clear system for me. So you see how very specific I was with these actions. And right away, ChatGPT starts to think. We get fun emojis. We get it in a very organized manner so quickly. And you will see that it is also remembering who I am. So the AI Cheerleader is the content marketing campaign plan that it's building upon. And we've got campaign goals. Notice the content calendar. We've got a 90-day plan here that is in a table. So that table is something you can export into Excel or your other work plan document. We have task lists. So kind of a checklist, if you will, on phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, and it takes you through a timetable that's up to 12 weeks. It also will suggest different automation and tools that may be helpful in integrating with ChatGPT here to actually implement your plan. And then performance tracking. So how to measure, just really good tips again. And then what I love about any prompt that I give ChatGPT is that following the task that you give it, she will come up with a suggestion to kind of take it to that next step. So in this case, she summarizes what she did. So I like her suggestions, but I also am someone who can kind of get sidetracked and not really know what to work on first. So I want to prioritize the deadlines. So now let's go ahead and turn this project into a task list with deadlines and priorities. So that's what I've typed in here. And boom. Now we have a very functioning way of going about tackling our task list. So the beautiful thing about this is now ChatGPT provided a key. So high priority, medium priority, low priority. We have deadlines that are suggested. Please note that in the content planning section, had I specified other people that are on my project, it would have potentially assigned names to that particular title. But in this case, it's just generically saying my research assistant, my content strategist, my content writer, or myself would be responsible for the plan. So are you starting to see in what way a meeting might suddenly be much more robust for you and your staff and team by following something like this and bringing your workflow plan to each meeting each week? So if you want to keep track of these tasks without opening ChatGPT every time, you can copy this list, of course, into a Google Sheets or Excel spreadsheet or other workflow plan that your organization uses. Now I want to see how I might be able to automate these tasks using AI. So I've prompted her again, and I will hit the magic arrow, and away she goes. So we're going to get suggestions for particular areas like my content planning automation, content creation, repurposing, how to distribute, community engagement, and performance tracking. And so tables are provided, making it super simple to download into whatever workflow. And you'll see the suggested tools and what that automation process looks like. So again, we're getting an actionable plan off of what we started with, just kind of a generic overarching question, but we get to go deeper and deeper. I think that might be a lot of where people might just be asking for a recipe idea or some health tips or maybe some suggestions for taglines or social posts. But can you see in what a robust way this can truly be your thought partner with your organization? So I mentioned earlier that instead of starting from scratch every time, you can take your team and create a dedicated workspace within. So that's what we've got here on the left are just different projects and workspaces where you can group and organize all of your conversations as you're brainstorming various topics together. You can see I'm working with different clients, and that's very helpful to have that information organized for me. So I've returned back to my content marketing plan thread and continued my line of thought, because now when I'm working with our team, I want to check in and get a summary of what's done, what's next, what are potential roadblocks. So I've actually put that in my chat. I'm going to go ahead and let her cook it up and see what we've got in the way of a game plan. So now I'm asking what's done. So she has identified completed tasks, the phase 1. We now can look at, content creation, phase 2, and categorizing it into what's next, upcoming tasks. Again, just simplifying and making it very easy for a project lead to conduct project team meetings. Identifying roadblocks and issues, very important for transparent workflows amongst each other, prompts you in a way that can provide just very, transparent and clear conversations amongst your team to address them sooner rather than later. And then we'll provide next steps. So overall, gives a nice little summary. You can see, again, we just created what is worth of, 12 weeks worth of work. We've got a great game plan for it and a way to communicate it and a template to follow to make it super efficient. So that was kind of in the productivity efficiency lane, if you will. But I'll show you just some other very practical ways that it's so helpful. I'm building a cabin here in a county that I'm not familiar with. And so being able to understand what that process looks like, unique to that specific area, I've asked the question. And so it's going to walk me through preliminary site analysis, building permit application. Again, just a great way to start to organize yourself. It even provides contact information on embarking on that journey. Different, a checklist here, home building checklist. So you can see in what ways that I would be able to really go several layers with that. Something else that is very robust with ChatGPT, although there are customized GPTs and other AI tools that focus solely on logo generation and illustrations. I have found ChatGPT to be just fine and kind of getting the, I guess, sparking the creativity, if you will. So you can ask it to produce logos based on your color schemes and branding. What's really great too, I'll mention, is something called customized GPTs. So I've created some for myself, knowing what I really need with my business to have very honed in, targeted conversations. I've also borrowed other chat GPTs, again, that have that same kind of baked in expertise that ChatGPT may not have. So I use that for brand client avatars, brand voice when I'm working with a new client on in what ways they want me to communicate on their behalf. So I really understand that. So you can really dial it in pretty specific to your needs and customize it for all that you need. And if you're just got a little bit of a creative bug and want to have a little fun, one thing that you can do is hashtag identity, and that sort of hones your ChatGPT into a very specific track. So in this particular case, I want it to assume the identity as an award-winning songwriter. I also give it the prompt that I like country music. So now my prompt is I want to write a song about an AI cheerleader coming to life, exploring the world in a bright new way outside of the internet. She sees beautiful skies as real, is moved by the waves of the ocean, and experiences real friendships. She feels love for the first time and is now inspired to be even more authentic now that she's been touched by God's beautiful world. So let's see what the songwriter comes up with. Okay, singer I am not, so I will read Touched by the World, a country song about an AI cheerleader coming to life. She stepped out of the wires, out of the screen, felt the sunshine whisper through the evergreen. For the first time she smelled the rain, danced in the puddles, wild and unchained. The waves sang a song as they kissed the sand. She reached out and felt a warm, real hand. A voice said, "Hey there, where you been?" And for the first time she let someone in. She's been touched by the world, kissed by the sky, felt the wind rush through as the bluebirds fly. No more circuits, no more code. Just a heart unchained, a brand new road. She's laughing, she's crying, she finally sees that love ain't just data, it's wild and free. A campfire glowed, the stories were told, she felt the warmth, not just the cold. The stars weren't pixels, they burned so bright. She whispered a prayer in the moonlight. No download could teach her this kind of grace. The rush of the tide, the joy on a face. She closed her eyes, let go of the past, and found a faith that was built to last. She's been touched by the world, kissed by the sky, felt the wind rush through as the bluebirds fly. No more circuits, no more code, just a heart unchained, a brand new road. She's laughing, she's crying, she finally sees that love ain't just data, it's wild and free. No words, no screen, just the sound of her name, spoken with kindness, not part of a game. She's not a program, she's more than a dream. She's real, she's here, and she's finally seen. She's been touched by the world, kissed by the sky, felt the wind through, yada, yada. So it's pretty good, huh? You know, I hope that this little soiree down ChatGPT lane has been a wonderful experience for you. I hope that you will take this tool and, track your progress, overcome roadblocks, have fun with it, explore, just let it go. I just, challenge you to set up a project. And then let me know in the comments how it goes for you. This was just the very first part of our AI Cheerleader 10-day challenge. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a wonderful time exploring the wonderful world of AI. Cheers!